Okay, I am here. So thank you, everybody. I am Blake Cabot. I am the owner of FacePaintcom, and I am here with Frida Haas and Olivia, her daughter. And you're going to guess this pretty quickly. There's a bunch of chickens in the background. So I've seen the chickens, the chicks, I think,
Chicks.
there, and they're cute as a Dickens, as is Olivia, it should be added. So we're very lucky. So Frida is taught at Olga's Summit, and which I'm sure many of you have seen. And if not, catch her there. Olga does a great job with that stuff. And she is going to show us some tribal designs here, which I'm very excited about. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So we're going to have a little bit of problems with the connection, just to warn you. It's a little slower, but we're going to make up for it by the quality of the art. So
exactly, yes.
Frida, it's all you.
Okay, we're going to start?
Yep, we're starting.
Okay, let's see. My screen changes. I don't know what to do. So I had the thought of just showing you how you can incorporate tribals into some of the designs you're already doing to sort of appeal to that slightly older, maybe teenage range of kids, and also adults really like it. And I have a few designs. They're kind of basic designs that you probably already have in your repertoire, but we're just going to spin it with a little bit of a twist. And I'm going to start painting right away because I know time is limited.
It is.
We're going to start. Yeah, we're going to start with a. I think we're going to start with a wolf. I'm going to go with a little bit of a wolf design, and that's going to be the first one. I'm going to scoot the camera up a little closer. Is everything good here, Blake?
I think so.
Is that a good spot?
Yeah, she looks great.
And
Olivia, I am wearing the clown nose, in case you're wondering.
We can't see you. Your screen got black, so.
I know, because nobody wants to see me in a clown nose.
Oh. That's not what we're here for?
That is not what we're here for.
Okay.
Somebody from Portland.
Right now, I'm just grabbing a sponge, and I'm getting a medium gray that I'm going to start basing her out with. This is going to be pretty quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the background. However you paint your wolf, that's how you would probably start this design. You know, whatever it is that you do. I'm just going to show you how you then can spin it a little bit and give it a different feeling, different flair. So this is how I typically do it. I go in with a medium gray. After that, I pop in a little bit of a white right on the eyebrow.
We got people from France, Trinidad, New Jersey, Portland, Las Vegas. I know Belgium because Wendy La Belgia is there. So, and Beth, of course, from outside Chicago. Hey, Beth, I keep sending you messages. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's about right there for a base, because mostly this is going to be. Now, this is how I say that I'm going with a bit of a powder, and I'm just going to.
Okay.
Do a little
and
bit
what
of
powder
a
are you using?
This is Elisa Griffith. Elisa Griffith? Elisa Griffith. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name right now, dear friend.
Okay.
And I'm just going to pop in a little bit of shadows in their ear.
And you're just putting it just using a basic kind of makeup applicator, right?
Yes, this is just a little. It's also Elisa Griffith brush, actually.
Okay.
Right there around the muscle area. Well, right in the corner. Basic. Quick, something you put on there in like a minute. And then instead of doing our traditional wolf outline, I'm going to give this a tribal feel. And I always say tribal inspired. I'm not a tribal artist. I'm not part of any tribe. So I do try to be careful with my wording on that. It's tribal inspired. And with tribals, and of course, now I'm getting nervous because I'm starting my line work. So I'll be shaky.
Don't. Take it easy. It's not that bad.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
You know, one of the things I've learned from Kathy Vergara is one of my all-time favorite teachers, and she says, face painting is never saying you're sorry. It's art.
It is, and
if even if you get it wrong, it's just art.
And it's a creation of the moment too. You know, you create something and then you wash it off. So I find it really, I call it my zen. It's very zen because you have to just embrace what happens at the moment.
There's a lot of questions about the birds that we have to answer, I think, at this point. Yes, there are chickens. She has goats. She has she lives outside of Seattle across the bay. And so she's got
Washington.
Yeah.
We have very cute baby chicks. They hatched about a week ago.
So we have
baby
chicks.
When I do a wolf nose, I like to do a little bit underneath the nose, because the nose and the mouth and the wolf, they're very close to each other. So that when you pull in the mouth, you know, you kind of foreshortening that face a little bit. So anyway, so that's it, just a basic nose. And then I usually work from the top down. That's typically how I kind of go about it. So I'm going to start at the very top here. And tribals are, you know, a balance of positive and negative space. Line work that's balanced in positive and negative. And after that.
So is it because is tribal more abstract than other forms of designs? I mean, it
is definitely very stylized.
Yeah.
You know, it's when you're using stylized line work to create your image.
Right. You're using symbols and things like that.
Maybe I should look at the one I already did. So I'm going to come in and do a little bit of a circle.
Casey says
you
rock, by the way.
Oh, thank you. And then a few little dagger strokes. It's basically dagger strokes the whole time. You're doing thin to thick to thin, all the strokes you do. And then making sure that your positive and negative spaces.
Just make sure that your hand's not blocking the camera, because now we can't see.
Okay. So
just kind of have to. Yeah, exactly.
How do I get my fine points?
Well, you just kind of have to let it.
I know.
Yeah.
So don't wrinkle your forehead, Olivia. Try to be relaxed if you can. I know I'm shaking too, so.
Don't worry. Oh, what brush? That was a question.
Oh, this is just a basic Lowell Cornell #3.
I have those. Brush. We even sell Low Cornell on FacePaintcom.
You do a Lowell Cornell #1 or a #3. The #3 is the one I use the most. And then from here, I'm going to pull a little bit of an angry eyebrow eye, keeping these lines symmetrical. And then I'm going to go another round this way.
Well, Cornell #3, gold grip.
Yes. Always.
I'm just giving him a link to that.
Here, I'm going to use the shapes I created in my base. It's always going to be sort of the flow lines that I use. I want to come around here. I'm going to do another one up and around, keeping that negative space. And then I want to pull a few more little daggers this way.
Okay. That is tribal inspired.
That's what we're trying to create here. I do the top lip, come down and lay my brush down sort of in a straight line. And dogs and wolves, when I do their muzzle, I try to do them a little bit more of a square shape than round, like I would do for more of a feline. So we're going to go up, straight up, kind of a little bit of an angle. And then, so straight, and then wear off towards this eye right here. And then come down, meet those a little bit. Create another little line and connect right there for another sort of, whenever you do two lines and you connect them with this little bridge, you instantly get a tribal feel to your design. I can also come down right here, follow this line, do another little jet out right there. And then for the muzzle, you guys can hear those chickens, I bet.
Everybody can hear the chickens. They love the chickens. The chickens are popular.
Excellent. They're very
What's wrong
popular
with
in our
chickens,
house
I
too.
ask you? Chickens are great.
So, and
We
then
can have a
I'm going to finish
tribal
this by
inspired chicken
going
design.
up next time.
Next time. Has
And
anybody
I'm
ever
also
face
gonna
painted a
go
chicken?
from right
Olga.
here. Oh, you can start laughing in the middle of this. Try not to smile. Relax your eyes so I can come in right there. And then another one right underneath and connect the two.
Very nice.
And I'm just gonna go a little bit on the underneath. I'm not gonna fill in the whole lip right there because right here, I wanna put in a fang.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Very good. Someone asked about why we're doing half face paint because we're going to do one half at a time. So
Yes.
there's only one kid, so there's only
I
so
have
many
one
parts.
model. And also this design, when you put it on a full face, it can get kind of busy and overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
So a half face tribal, I feel is the perfect amount of paint for
Mm-hmm.
this type of design.
Kind of looks like a lion.
It has a little bit of a lion feel.
Yeah.
So
But Wendy and Zuri think that's great.
yeah, it's, you know, and also my designs, when I'm doing things like this, I am typically on the job and I got 30 kids in a line.
Sure.
There's no time to paint a full face. And if I can get away by painting half a face, yes, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. And now, of course, we're going to have to move to masks, more or less, because if kids are wearing masks, then you got to do
I'm still trying to figure
design.
out what the new situation is going to look like. And I know for me, it's going to be a long wait before I'm out doing any gigs.
Well, we did a great webinar last Thursday with Tiffany Beckler, and she gave you the 411. So of what to do and not do, and because she's a cosmetologist and did just a terrific job sort of describing sort of a safe process.
Nice. I'm gonna have to look at that one. I haven't had a chance to do that yet.
The real takeaway for me was she put together kits ahead of time. So she would have a brush, two brushes, two sponges, paper towel, maybe a stencil or two, and she would just lay those all out ahead of time. So that way she didn't have to clean the brushes. So,
well, we're definitely.
Now, how many kids can you do?
I don't even know how you're going to be able to do one strokes because you're double dipping often when you do a one stroke to get that perfect combination of paint. So I'm thinking about it. All right, we're going to move on to a skull.
Awesome.
And again, this is just super, super quick base. I'm using a Craze White for this. And I'm pulling in paint fast and furious because I'm not trying to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Why be perfect? It's so much work.
Well, yeah, perfection is So
anyway, this is gonna just be basically for my skull. And often when I do a skull, I like to have fun with color. And this is a rainbow loving girl. So I do this all the time when I'm painting kids.
Mm-hmm.
That I kind of look at what they're wearing, and instead of going straight in with black for my skull, I'll pop in a color in the base areas.
Okay.
So right here where I know I'm going to have a bit of a shadow, instead of going in with a black, I'm going to pop a little bit of color there. Okay. I'm going to pop a little color here. I'll go in, squeeze my sponge.
Just because people are going to ask, what kind of paint are you using?
Right now,
mm-hmm.
This is the new, which palette am I using? It's the new Fusion palette.
Okay.
Leanne's Vivid Rainbow Petal palette. Mm-hmm. So I'll go into the little divot we have right there. I'll pop color here, and then I'll pop some color there. Because why go black? I'm going to do black with my line work, so there'll be plenty of black in this design anyway. And all my line work on this design are going to have that tribal feel to it. So I'm going to go in and pull an eyebrow, angry eyebrow, kind of basic way you'd start your skull probably. And I like to just kind of see how things flow and have fun with my lines. I'm going to come up here and, because this is coming in like this, I feel like this will meet right there fairly nicely. And why not? And let's see, this has this bit of a round feel to it. So I'm going to come in right here again. And then continue the shapes and the feel of those shapes right there. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do another little round shape back this way. Connect with that bridge I was talking about. And let's see, let's spin off of this line we have right there already. And you know, these designs for me are never ever the same. They're always different.
Well, that looks great.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I try to avoid a lot of black if I can around the mouth area, because in a minute the kids get messy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just everywhere, and I feel, you know, they get less use of their design.
Mm-hmm. Shauna loves this tribal skull.
Thank you, Shauna. And then I'm gonna just suggest these teeth. Probably not much more than that.
Okay.
And I think we need a little bit of a nose action on this, and
yeah,
it's going to be done too.
Oh, one question came from Wendy. How do you practice tribal? It sounds, that's a really good question, Wendy. Thank you for asking that.
So I can only speak for myself, obviously, but I look at a lot of tribals and study them and like try to figure out, you know, what is it about this that works, what makes it pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
And then to start painting your legs a million times.
So could you paint your, could you show, this may sound crazy and you may not be able to do this, but can you paint your arm and show an exercise of how you paint tribal?
How do I?
Yeah, like just show an exercise that the people could follow.
Yeah, like an exercise that I would do.
Yeah.
And whether it comes out great or not.
Definitely.
Let's see, Olivia, if I can place my arm, nope, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna, hold on, I'm gonna just tilt it down. Okay, if I put my arm right there, you can see
Olivia's back or whatever's easier.
Yeah, do you wanna sit crisscross in the back and I'll just do it on the back of your neck, something? Would that work?
Yeah.
Okay, turn around. Can you pull your one sleeve out?
Okay.
Just pull your arm out all the way. There we go. Okay, she's got the tank top underneath, so we're good. Okay, let me just find a spot here that you guys can see. So right here.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Now for me, I can, let's see, Olivia, make sure you're comfortable. Is that good for you? Okay, let's do it right here. I like to start with a circle because the circle very easy can become.
We need to see your hand though.
Okay. Like this. I'll try.
Still can't see your hand. like that, exactly like that.
Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Much better. If I paint here.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
That's better.
That's okay. I can get it probably a little bit better right here. Okay. Let me get my water so I can.
Vero asks if it were the whole face, would you use the same strokes on the other side?
Not necessarily. I mean, the thing about it is that you have to keep it balanced as far as weight, but you don't have to use the same strokes, but you do need to, they need to have the same feel. They probably need to follow sort of the same shapes, but they don't have to be a complete mirror image. So I can show you on this.
I saw some fancy masks with Jacqueline Howe, I guess last week, and she didn't. It doesn't have to be a
Can you
symmetrical.
put your arms in?
You can
right there.
come. The world's your oyster. Remember, it's art.
Yeah. No. So I'm gonna. I paint right here. Is this gonna be show?
Yeah, that's gonna show fun.
I'm gonna try. Okay, I'm gonna start with a circle.
So start with a circle.
Olivia's gonna try to sit as still as she can. And then I'm gonna start by traveling up and down and then kind of show you how you can then go from there. Olivia, if you can have it, Olivia had it. So let's pull another one. Yeah, poor thing. And I'll start with these two shapes as my guidelines, but then I'm gonna start sort of coming away from that a little bit. So I'm using these lines to then incorporate this circle with the one I did on low, and then pull some circle, these dagger strokes up here to incorporate this.
So you're doing a lot of thin to thick, thick to thin lines.
Always, thin to thick. And if I have problems with that, I can start thick, pull one line, and then start thick and pull the other way. So this is gonna go, I think I'm gonna come here, but then I'm gonna go right through like that.
Nice. Okay.
And maybe this one will come this way. So instead of following now this upward direction, I can change it. Change my direction by just putting an end right there. Okay. And this, if this was centered of the back here, you could flare them out like wings. And this is not symmetrical. So if I'm going to carry this way, what I need to worry about is that same balance, but not necessarily the same kind of lines.
Okay.
So, Lydia's moving ahead a lot.
So this is like the face painting equivalent of doodling.
Absolutely. This is your teardrops.
Like you could fill up an entire day with that. I used to do that on my high school science papers. It kind of explains my grades, actually, now I think about it.
Paint by numbers. So, like I said, you just kind of do this and you're not really going for perfection right now. But what you want to try to create is that balance of symmetry a little bit, and that your positive and negative spaces flow, that they have a rhythm.
So you're not trying to fill in every last spot.
No, not at all.
Right.
And you want these open spaces to be there also. And my paintbrush is kind of drying out, but I'm not really worrying about it right now because anyway.
Like
so
that.
If you want to sit up so they can see that sort of straight on.
Okay.
Turn. Yeah, you sit like that.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
There we go.
Right. Okay. So symmetry, positive, negative spaces.
Now you're gonna stay right there because we're gonna do your arm. So sit up.
According to Corinne, and I think I'm going to mispronounce this, coucou, c'est superbe.
Oh, thank you.
I don't actually know what that means. Cool. I know what c'est superbe means, but I don't know what coucou means.
Cuckoo? Oh, she says that the chickens are great.
Ah, the chickens are great.
That's what I'm okay. That's what I'm interpreting it as.
Okay.
Makes sense. Cuckoos, chickens.
It's got to be.
Yeah. All right. So this is going to be a snake, arm snake. This is typically something I do on the face. This is a cool face snake, but her face is already painted. And I was going to have another little model for this, but she's not feeling well today. So she's in bed.
I'm the victim.
Iona asks, do you ever have areas of filled black shapes or only swirls and lines?
Say that again. What was the question?
Do you ever have areas of filled black shapes, like a black circle or black square or triangle or whatever, any kind of shape? And then
not often. Not often. Sometimes they end up because, my lines got a bit too close to each other and had to do it, but they will be small areas in that case, but not big major areas. But that's just my personal preference. And if I would have solid lines like that or solid areas, I would fill them with a color.
Right. Okay.
I would put like
Wendy pointed out that cuckoo means high in French.
Oh, cuckoo, not chickens.
That does not mean chickens.
Oh.
Like
all right. So this is a snake that I would do on kind of a forehead, but it works really well on an arm as well. I'll just kind of do a little bit simple trailing down the arm. And I always start with the head, because once I know where the head is, then I know where the rest of the body is. My paint is cold, Olivia says. Okay, this is the beginning of my snake.
And because people are going to ask, that looks like a paint pal brush. Am I mistaken?
This is blazing brush.
A blazing brush.
By Marcella.
By Marcella. We love Marcella.
And this is going to have an open mouth. So
which one? 3/4 inch or 1 inch?
Yep, 3/4. I put in a little bit of a lighter green right there, and then I'm going to put in the bottom jaw. So that's my snake head to begin with. I'm going to fill that in.
Okay.
And then back here comes the neck. I'm going to scoop around. I need to load some more paint. And this will typically, for me, like this is the forehead. I swoop it into the hair, and then I come out behind the ear and the temple. But let's go up like that.
And what face paint is that?
This is the from the, let's see, this is a Craze palette. I don't know, does this palette have a name?
Yeah, the split cake palette. That's pretty much Splash split cake palette.
Splash.
Great.
And it's this green split cake.
Yep. Okay.
Really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, it's a really awesome combination of.
Beth helped design all that, so thank you, Beth. She's watching this, so figure I'd give her a shout out.
Kinley?
Yeah.
All right. All right, like that. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. I do need to let that dry because there's got some wet spots. So I'm doing.
Olivia, you're a gas.
She is pretty awesome. I'm gonna put in an eye. One thing with snakes is that their eye are kind of close to the front of their face. So you want to put the eye more towards the front of the nose and not back here, because then it doesn't look right. They don't have a big long snout. Their eyes are much further to the front of their nose. And then see if you can sit still, Olivia. Thank you. And then I like to come in and put some fangs. This snake needs fangs. You're having too much fun with this. All right, I'm still using that.
She's a star.
Number 3, Lowell Cornell. And things are starting to dry up for me a little bit.
You know what I like about I like the mouth of the snake. I think that's a sort of a good way of using a split cake. I don't think I've seen that as much. Maybe other people have done it, but
good. I'm glad you like it. Yeah. So I typically will start with, can you see if I put my hand right there? Actually, let's do this again because I think it was a good spot. Let's see. Is that a good spot? Can you
Can't
see?
even see it.
No, you can't even
I can't
it.
see a thing.
Nobody can see anything.
No, it's not a thing.
Except for
When I say nothing, I mean nothing. You are way ahead of schedule, by the way. No one's done
really?
this many times. Yeah, you're doing great.
So I usually do this little angry eyebrow, Sarah. And the face, I'm going to kind of just keep to how I would normally paint a snake. And then the body is going to have my tribals. So eyebrow. Let her yawn because she's getting tired.
Just make sure we can see it.
Okay. I have no
There we
idea.
go.
There
It's a
you
nice
are.
eye. So where did you learn face painting? Do you learn this in Sweden, or because I know you're from Sweden?
Yeah, no, I started face painting just by watching YouTube videos. And then I got myself, I went to,
Really bad
oh yeah, but that was before I even knew what face paint was. When I was just a mom trying to please my children.
You got those little ones that they have like children.
Yes, and we know those were not good. Okay. It's not the best snake head I've ever done. This camera is definitely messing with me.
Yeah.
But okay, so now we can have some fun. We have this whole long body that we can just start plotting tribals all the way along.
Ah.
I'm just gonna sort of freehand it and see what happens because this is not the design I had planned. All right, so I'm gonna come right here. At these where it kind of bends is a sort of a nice natural place just to put a circle. So that's one. I now have another kid by my feet because this is how we roll.
Yep, that makes sense. How old's the child at your feet?
8. And she's
8.
the one who's not feeling well.
Oh, poor thing. Yeah, so if you could try to keep the hand out of the way, that'd be great.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No worries.
Just chop off the hand and paint with your mouth.
I know it's a small space in the middle of an island in Washington Harbor. But...
There you go. There you go. That's good. Okay, and then I can follow the edge of this, the ridge of the snake's back down. This will be a fun place to put some things.
Hey, Pam. Pam Kinnenberg loves your work, so.
Thank you, Pam. Obviously, I love her too.
Who doesn't love Pam? She does a great job.
So, see?
Well, if it makes you feel any better, during one of our webinars with Pam, her cat started drinking the face paint water. It's one of my favorite moments of all time.
I love it.
Christina asked, will there be photos posted of these so we can practice? I don't know. Are there going to be photos of these so we can practice?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Why not?
So just email me the photos when you're, after this is all over. I'll post them later.
My daughter's kind of been rubbing her face against the back of the shelf here, but I do have the ones that I have on my face painting board too that I was did for practice. Okay. This is the snake I sort of plotted. If I do it on a face.
That's what you do? Okay.
Like that.
That's clever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And, okay, so this comes down this way. I want to break this up a little bit. Are you so tired, Olivia?
It's hard sitting still for a while.
She'll get something good out of this. Not sure what it's gonna be, but
Ooh.
$500? No, I don't think we'll do quite that. Okay, so let's see. And it's kind of what I try to think of if I was doing something long like this, is that you have some areas of focal, and then you have some areas that sort of just tie everything together instead of focal point, focal point, focal point.
Right. Interesting.
And this is kind of representing that belly. And up in Washington, you know, we have a lot of beautiful tribal inspiration around here, which I would never paint unless I was invited to do so by a tribal member, which I have done. I've done some full-on tribal body paints, but I would never do it unless invited to do so. Mm-hmm.
Well, I would think they would do that. You would do a pretty good job.
Yeah, I just try to be respectful of everyone. And then I'm going to cut across. Come down to it. Oops. Are you making sure so they can see your sauce? Up.
Thomas says hi.
Hi, Thomas. We painted together just the other day.
And you know Christine Prendergast? Yeah. She called out to you too. Hey babe, I think.
Hi.
The technical quote.
Yeah, she was giving me encouragement last night, and that was awesome. Because she knows I struggle with bad internet. Okay, so that's kind of a cool guy. Am I done? She says. Never. She wants to go back to her room and probably draw herself because that's what she does. She's an artist.
That's fantastic.
And I'm going in with the same green out of this palette, but I've kind of mixed up the two lighter colors right now. Maybe that's a no-no, but I did.
It's up to you.
Yeah. But I like coming in with this lighter green and sort of giving it a few flow lines.
Mm-hmm.
Sit still. You've had it.
Oh, that's
She
just
is so
mean,
over
Patty.
this.
That's just mean.
You've been a trooper. How are we doing for time?
Record time. Given the complexity of these designs. Yeah.
All right, nice. So
Thomas says your tribals are giving him life.
yay. I like being a giver of life. That's an awesome.
There we go.
So okay, can you show that guy off?
Yeah, there we go. I see him. Now, if you flex in certain ways, it can wiggle.
Show off your guns.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. I can keep going.
Well,
maybe not with this person.
Okay. You want to try another person? You got a spare? If you don't, we can stop here. It's up to you.
No, I don't want to stop. This is
Don't stop. We got another 18 minutes of joy of face painting.
Hold on to that feeling. Right?
Oh, while you're switching people, I'll give the what's upcoming.
So does Kaisa want to be painted? Do you want to be painted for the TV? For the video? You don't have to.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Oh, probably not.
Painted chicken.
Hold on. Olivia says I should paint a chicken.
Well, you should paint a chicken then.
No, I could paint myself.
Okay, paint yourself.
Why not?
So a couple
Although
webinars.
I only have this little. Can I make? I can make that bigger. Okay. Oh, I was just looking at this tiny, tiny little picture.
Yeah, no, you're okay. Great.
Can I do this? I never painted with a camera picture before. All right. I don't know. What do people think? Should I?
They they want a tribal boy design. That's what Christina wants.
Tribal boy. Like what do you mean, Christina? You want like that sort of classic eye design boy tribal, or because I think the snake and the skull and the wolf are pretty boy, but
Yep. Maybe just
What are you
straight
saying?
tribal. I don't know.
oh, like not even. Yeah, okay, I can do that. So I'm really tired of the Mike Tyson. I don't want to paint it.
Okay, don't do Mike Tyson.
I'm not gonna do Mike Tyson, but
He's tribal.
can certainly play around with a tribal on the face. and
Oh,
see what
Christina
happens.
says a
I
mask.
have.
Actually, she wanted to go a mask instead.
Oh,
That's a good idea.
mask, a tribal
That's a-
mask.
A tribal mask.
God, putting me on the spot.
This is jazz.
So, yeah, it's kind of the same thing again, where you pick where you want your main elements to be, and then just doing lines to tie things together.
Mhm.
For speed, but also simplicity and kind of keeping things straight in your head. Because the scary thing about tribals is that it can just get overwhelming, and you kind of get started, and then you don't really know where to go. So, I need to get a mirror. I don't think I can do this without a mirror. Hold on.
Okay. So while she's gone, this Wednesday, we're going to have Balloon Josh talking about creating balloon decor on clownantics.com. And then next week, we're going to have Nadine Davidson, and she's going to do fast and fabulous bling designs. And then the 22nd of June, we're going to have Linnea Overby doing girl heroes. So tune in at the usual times. Okay. So for those that were taking the poll, we did a poll on Zoom, and it looks to me like about 25% are have got gigs booked in the next 30 days. So that's up from 0 a couple weeks ago. And it looks like about, of those people, 3 of those 4 are face painting. So, for what it's worth.
All right. I got a mirror, so I can probably do this now.
Okay.
And if it was going to be a mask, I would probably, do some one stroke first
Mm-hmm.
to give myself an idea of where things are going to fall and pick a color.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter is singing in the bathroom. I don't know if you can hear her.
She was singing earlier. Almost as good as the chickens.
They're little teety birds. Okay. One thing, like I had everything set up in my studio earlier, and then we had to move everything into my house. So I just ran out and brought my basic stuff inside that I knew I was gonna need. So all my stuff is out in my studio.
Yeah. Slightly better internet connection.
slightly, not much. Okay.
Okay, here you are.
Mask it is. So I will probably do like something maybe a little bit more asymmetrical instead of completely symmetrical. Symmetrical. So I don't know. I don't paint a ton of masks. But let's just start with, you know, like I would do on the job, just start laying down lines and seeing what happens. And pretending that this is on the job, which means I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But I'm going to pick up a couple of different colors to work with.
Okay, I think the
mirror got in the way.
Yeah, the mirror got in the way a little bit.
Yeah, you just got to call it out because I probably don't know what's going on. All right, so basic. I'll keep it at that. And I will start over here and sort of pick a focal point of where things are going to go. So let's start with this long sort of line. And
okay.
I don't know. I'm kind of just playing with it right now.
Sure.
I have no plan. No plan of attack. So right here, you know, things got a little bit close. Perfect place to put that little bridge I was talking about. And then I'm gonna pull up, connecting, creating those spaces. I'm gonna pull a little one right there. They don't quite touch, but they do flow to each other. And then back and up.
Okay.
Let's see. I do want to create something up here. And I think I will. So my background that I did, it's kind of there for interest, but I don't really lock myself into it. If it helps me, I use it, but I'm not tying myself to it too much. It's there for if I need it, but it helps. Hey, Kaisa, can you go upstairs and lay in my bed? Okay, but I need you to go upstairs and lay in my bed, okay? Olivia?
Yeah.
Can you walk Kaisa upstairs? Okay. So I'm gonna go on this side. This is gonna be my I might come back here, I don't know. But this is definitely my side that's gonna have the most interest. Because that's the thing with tribals that I feel that if you start covering the whole face with it, it becomes a lot.
It becomes too much,
in my opinion.
I once saw an
wrong.
opera by there's an artist called William Kentridge, South African artist. He's been at MoMA and he's a fine artist. He did an opera called The Nose at the Met, and after a while of looking at it, I just couldn't. I was afraid to blink. I mean, it was like that scene in Clockwork Orange where your eyes were pried open. It was just terrifying after a while.
Oh, really?
Oh, there is a list. Someone asked about the list of webinars. Yeah, we have a list of webinars on our FacePaint.com. So this is what we've got coming up. The other place you can check is we generally post these as events on our page, on our Facebook page. Christina. And yes, Wendy's coming up.
So, with masks, we tend to think that everything is covering all this. And if you wanted to tie this together more, I would do like a gold shimmer along here. If you wanted to create like a true mask, that would be a way. But like I said, this was completely not planned. So,
when is it ever?
Right. I mean, why plan? Like, I planned for 2020s. Yeah, that worked out.
Yeah, I had plans too. That was one of the things that I regret at this point.
Yeah, we had so many plans. Like, this was going to be such a big year for us as a family because our kids are getting old enough that we can do some more things that we haven't really had the.
I was launching a face paint brand. I was really excited about that. Yeah. Man, I picked a great time to do that. It's like building balloons during the Hindenburg crash.
Right. But balloons make people happy, so.
They do. Balloons are still working.
So I kind of want to try to think about how to bridge these two, and I think that at this point, so much for pictures. My daughter just took a shower.
No picture, sorry to say. This is real world. Sugar call contest. I know we had a sugar call contest. That's right, Beth. You can rewatch it and take screenshots later.
There you go. I will share the ones that I have on my practice boards, though, for you
That'd
guys.
be great. That sounds bad.
Okay. I don't know. What I feel like, if I'm looking at this right now, this feels a little kind of out of place, jutting up like that. It doesn't feel completely balanced. This feels okay to me. So this is a little bit bigger on this side, a little heavier. Which makes me think I need to, let me think about this. I need to come down here. Kind of pull that into more of a shape. And then I don't know. It's not perfect, but it's what we ended up with.
Oh, don't say sorry. It looks great. This is Christina says this is great for a boy or a girl.
It's nothing I've ever painted before, I can tell you that.
That's fine.
Oh,
it's original.
And then glitter makes everything better. So you smash like a bunch of chunky glitter right through here. And a little bit of chunk of glitter right through there. And it might look pretty cool. So there's some fun things going on in here. I want to say.
Yeah, that was good.
We ate up our clock.
We ate up the clock. We're done. Time to go drink. Well, so everybody should drink heavily. That's my advice for this whole COVID. There's been studies that say that beer stops COVID virus or not, depending on how you read it.
Well, you get your blood. What is it? Blood alcohol volume up to a certain level, and it just won't take. Is that what happens?
That's the theory. Probably not true, but it just sounds good. So thank you very much, Frida. I hope this was scary for you. This is your first time. How was it?
It was really awesome once we got started, but I was really nervous ahead of time.
Yeah. No need to be nervous.
So
no need to be
nervous.
I
have, if you guys want, so that was one I made up. I mean, of course, what I painted didn't look exactly anything like that.
Yeah.
And then this one, I just kind of kept painting and painting and painting and painting. So it's, it's not what I actually had as an end product. I just kept adding
That's
stuff
interesting
to it
too.
after,
I like that
after I was done. This is very Northwest tribal right there.
Yeah.
And then sticking up in the
okay. Yeah,
like
please
that.
take photos of
Like,
that, and I'll post it on this
those?
on this Facebook post. And I'll post it on FacePaintcom. Okay, well, thank you very much. I think I can speak for everybody. Erin thinks you did a great job. Everybody thinks you did a great job. So,
thank you.
So thank you very much. And, this is all just to support the community, and everybody just can watch some fun art, which is there's no downside to that.
Nope.
Not at all. Okay, so
hold on.
What?
Hold on.
The chickens. I got a feeling we're going to
see a little cheaper.
Oh, they're so cute.
So much
oh,
noise.
That's cute.
The noisemakers.
That's them.
Over and out.
Does this chicken know it's on Zoom?
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, thank you very much. And thank you guys all for coming. Again, we're going to have Balloon Josh on Wednesday, I believe, and on Wednesday on clownantics.com if you guys want to learn about ballooning. And we'll have next week more of the same. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a good evening.
Bye.